आप सभी दोस्तों को मेरा नमस्कार and I welcome you all in my old NCERT series where now we are covering geography and today we are gonna cover chapter 4 motion of the earth. तो हम क्या समझते हैं motion of the earth से? Earth moves around the sun or earth moves around its own axis. So what exactly the move is all about? We're gonna learn in this chapter. Motions of the earth. And before we start, I would make you clear once again that these notes that I have prepared in this slide or in the PDF that I'll make available for you all in my Telegram channel. The link for the same would be provided in the description below. These notes I have prepared after eliminating the part which is not that important from the examination point of view. The Earth, like other planets, has two motions. It spins continuously on its axis once in about 24 hours, which is called rotation. The Earth's axis is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees from a perpendicular to the orbital plane. This tilting of the Earth's axis is referred to as inclination of Earth axis. Next, while rotating on its axis, the Earth also moves around the Sun at a speed of about 1 lakh km per hour. It completes one circle in about 365 days and 6 hours. This annual motion of the Earth is called revolution. So here there are two definitions. One is for rotation, one is for revolution. When Earth spins around its own axis, then it is called rotation. And when the Earth rotates, when the Earth moves around the Sun, that is called revolution. जब हमारी अर्थ अपने एक्सिस पे अपनी धुरी पे घूमती है उसको रोटेशन बोलते हैं एंड जब हमारी अर्थ सन के चारों तरफ चक्कर लगाती है उसको रिवॉल्यूशन बोलते हैं. आइए इसको समझते हैं इमेज के माध्यम से. इस इमेज में आप देख पा रहे होंगे दिस इज आवर अर्थ. This line which is drawn by red color, that is Earth's axis. An imaginary line which connects Earth's north pole to the south pole. That line is called axis. With the horizontal line that you can see here, this is the orbital plane or this is called the plane of ecliptic. And this is the perpendicular on this orbital plane. So with these two lines, we can actually understand how much the Earth axis is tilted from the orbital plane or from the perpendicular of the orbit. You can see the axis is tilted how much? It is 23 degree and 30 minutes, or we can say the Earth is tilted 66 degree and 30 minutes from its orbital plane. See, Earth always rotate from west to east. See, this is the way Earth rotates. Earth will take a round from this way. This is the way that our Earth moves. That is called rotation. When the Earth rotates around its own axis, like it is spinning, you would have seen globes in your childhood. So here, this way you can understand the Earth rotates around its axis and it is tilted at about 23.5 degrees from the perpendicular of the orbital plane. The Earth receives its light and heat from the Sun. When the Earth rotates on its axis, one half of it facing the Sun is lit, the other half remains in darkness. The lighted part of the Earth has a day and the other half in the darkness has a night. This is because the rotation of the Earth that day and night follow each other in regular succession in part of the Earth. तो इसमें बताया गया है कि हमारी अर्थ जो है वो अपने एक्सिस पे चारों तरफ घूमती है और जिस पार्ट का फेस सन की तरफ रहता है उस पार्ट में दिन होता है, उस पार्ट में रोशनी होती है एंड द अदर पार्ट रिमेन्स इन डार्क, उसमें अंधेरा होता है. सो वी विल अंडरस्टैंड दिस through another picture. In this picture you can see the Earth and the Sun. The Earth is tilted and it is rotating as well. So this part, this is North America, I suppose. So in this picture the North America is having a day, whereas just opposite of it, suppose it is India or some other parts nearby India, they are having night. So when the Earth will rotate again, this part will face the sun's light and this part will have a day. So for a full rotation, Earth takes around 24 hours. As we understood rotation, now we move towards revolution. While rotating on its axis, the Earth also moves around the Sun. The Earth completes one revolution in about 365 days and 6 hours. In 4 years, the difference of the days becomes 24 hours or 1 day. Hence, every 4 years, we add 1 day to the year. the year to which one day is added that has 366 days and that is called a leap year. So हमारी अर्थ जो है वो अपने एक्सिस पे तो स्पिन हो ही रही है, रोटेट हो ही रही है. विद दैट हियर आई हैव ड्रॉन द ऑर्बिट ऑफ अर्थ एंड द सन. सपोज दिस इज द axis of the earth. So the earth is rotating on its axis and at the same time it is revolving round the sun. इसके साथ ही ये सन के चक्कर भी लगाती है. ये डिस्टेंस दूर और कम इसलिए बिकॉज आगे आप पढ़ेंगे कि अर्थ की एक पोजीशन ऐसी है जहां पे वो सन के काफी क्लोज आ जाता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड perihelion, and when earth is very far from the sun, that one is called aphelion. It is a different concept, we will learn that later on. So for now you have to just learn this is revolution and this is rotation. About the leap year, अर्थ जो है वो सन का पूरा राउंड एक पूरा चक्कर लगाने में 365 days and 6 hours लेती है, and that becomes 1 year. 365 days का 1 year होता है. हम 6 घंटे को छोड़ नहीं रहे हैं, हम आने वाले 4 साल में उस 6 घंटे का कैलकुलेशन एक साथ करते हैं. In 4 years this 6 hours gets accumulated in 24 hours which becomes 1 day. 6 घंटे मिलके 24 घंटे हो जाएंगे आने वाले 4 सालों में. 24 घंटे से एक दिन बनता है. So that will become 1 day. So that will add up to this 365 days which will become 366 days. So after 4 years we will get a year having 366 days. So that year will be called a leap year. How to identify a leap year? If you get any particular year that whether this year is a leap year or not, you can verify that year with this. Because of Earth's constant inclination in one direction, one of the hemispheres, suppose north, remains inclined towards the sun or faces sun during one half of the year, and the larger part of this hemisphere receives the sunlight. In contrast, the other, suppose the southern hemisphere, is away from the sun. It is therefore has shorter days and longer nights. How that will happen, I will let you know. During the other half of the year, the other hemisphere, southern hemisphere, is inclined towards the sun. Hence, it has longer days and shorter nights. It is only on the equator that the day and the night are equal. As we move away from the equator, either northwards or the southwards, the difference between the length of the day and the night generally goes to increasing. When the northern hemisphere is inclined towards the sun, the north pole will have no nights and the southern pole will have no days. We will understand this concept from this image. See here, as I have told you, this is the tilt. So earth is tilted towards its one side at 23.5 degrees. Suppose this is the sun. You can see this region is receiving the maximum sun radiation. The earth is divided into two parts. The upper part is called northern hemisphere and the south part is called southern hemisphere. According to the concept, when the earth's southern part is towards the sun, the southern part of the earth will receive more sun radiation and the duration of days in this part will be longer compared to the days in the northern part at this time. At this time, this northern part is receiving less sun radiation, so days will be shorter here and nights will be longer due to the less radiation of the sun. And suppose sun is in this side, what will happen now? This is the northern part. Now you can see this whole part is receiving the sunlight and this part is not receiving the sunlight. So the northern part in this condition will receive the maximum sun radiation and will have longer days and shorter nights, whereas in this part where the sun's radiation are received less, this part will have shorter days and longer nights. Now let's understand the cycle of seasons. The revolution of earth and the seasons are quite relevant to each other. Here first read these lines. When we see the earth in its elliptical orbit around the sun, there are 4 positions of the earth, each at an interval of about 3 months. These dates are more or less fixed. In all these positions, the axis of the earth makes an angle of 66.5 degrees with the plane of its orbit, which is called orbital plane. The direction of its inclination always remains the same. On 21 June, when the summer solstice, the north pole is inclined towards the sun, while the south pole is away from it. The rays of the sun are falling vertically not on the equator but on 23.5 north of it, on the Tropic of Cancer. At this position, a greater part of the northern hemisphere is receiving the rays of the sun. Here, the days are longer and nights are shorter, and the rays of the sun at noon are vertical. It receives more heat than it loses. Therefore, it is having a summer season. The southern hemisphere receives slanting rays of sun. Slanting means the rays which are not direct on a particular surface. Hence, the days are shorter and nights are longer. This is the winter season in the southern hemisphere. Let's understand this summer solstice concept in the image. Although this image is self-explanatory, see, this is our Earth and this is tilted 23.5 degrees from the orbital plane that you can see, and this is North Pole, this is South Pole. This is the Earth's revolution around the Sun. We can see 4 positions here which are at a 3 months difference. There are 12 months. Here it's December. So after 6 months, here it will be March. Then after 3 months, it will be June. Then here it will be September. Then again it will be December. We are actually talking about this position on 21st June. You can see this is Sun and this is Earth. And the Earth is tilted 66.5 degrees on its orbital plane. Since the Earth's axis is towards the Sun, this part will receive the maximum sun radiation, whereas the southern part of the Earth will receive the lesser sun radiation. At the equator, this is equator which is dividing Earth into 2 equal parts, will receive the maximum sun radiation, especially from the Tropic of Cancer to the equator. This will receive the direct rays, whereas a lesser part will be received by the Tropic of Capricorn to the equator. Because the northern part is receiving the maximum sun radiation, that's why northern part of the Earth will have longer days and southern part will have shorter days. The similar way, northern part will have smaller nights, whereas the southern part will have bigger nights. Why this June 21? Because on this date, 21st June is supposed to be the longest day of the year. In June, we usually see we have summer season at this time. And moving to the next one, on 22 December, it is the southern hemisphere which is now inclined towards the sun. While the northern hemisphere is away from it, the vertical rays of the sun are now falling vertically on the places at 23.5 south of the equator, the Tropic of Capricorn. The days are longer and the nights are shorter in the southern hemisphere. It is therefore summer in the southern hemisphere and winter in the northern hemisphere. On 23rd September and 21st March, the rays of the sun fall vertically on the equator at noon. Both the poles receive the rays of the sun. One half of the portion of each hemisphere receives the sun's rays, making day and night equal all over the world on these days. Let's understand these two concepts from the Earth's image. As we understood this June 21 concept, opposite to this June 21, there is December 22. You can see the Earth's position here, the North Pole and the South Pole. Which part is receiving the maximum, the sun's radiation directly is the southern hemisphere. This is the dividing line which is receiving the sun's rays, and maximum of the southern part is receiving the sun's radiation. And at this position, this is equator and this is the Tropic of Capricorn. See the area between Tropic of Capricorn and the equator receiving the maximum sun rays. So this part will be the hottest of the year. The days in southern hemisphere would be longer in this current position, and the days in the northern hemisphere will be shorter. You can understand it by, in winters we have shorter days. When the sun's rays are not direct in the northern hemisphere, this would be the winter season here in the northern hemisphere. As we are not receiving the sun's rays directly here, we will have winter season, and it will be the summer season for the southern hemisphere. So why December 22? Because on December 22 it is the winter solstice, because this day marks the shortest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. Let's move to these two positions. On this position, as you can see, the Earth is tilted as it used to be. After December we get March. On 21st March, the sun rays are being received equally by the northern hemisphere and by the southern hemisphere. So the days and the night will be equal in this position, because there is no difference. Here the nights are longer because the maximum part of the northern hemisphere were receiving lesser radiation, whereas in this position both the southern and the northern hemisphere are receiving equal sun's rays. So on 21st March, this is called spring equinox. In the September 23rd, we can see the autumnal equinox. Here also the day and nights are equal, because the sun rays are received by both northern and southern hemisphere equally. So this is how we understand the revolution and the seasons. When we only talk about northern hemisphere, we have summer season, then we have autumn, then we have winters, then again we have spring season. So this is how our seasons change. So thank you so much for watching my video. We have just finished chapter 4. The next video will be coming soon. हंसते रहिए, मुस्कुराते रहिए और खूब मेहनत कीजिए and make your parents proud. Keep watching my videos and keep supporting. Thank you so much. So आज का quote है, if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to the people or things.